The college football experience, Indiana Hoosiers 2022 college football season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, presented by WinBet. Bet $50 at WinBet, get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. Download the WinBet app now or visit winbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold hard cash with their brand new over/under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by us. Yes, the SGPN app is live in the App Store and Google Play Store. It is free to download, and it is your home for all of our free picks and podcasts. And right now, we just relaunched our merch store where you can get all your favorite SGPN gear. Just go to store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com and remember to grab the SGPN app for free today and then let it ride.
This is Jerry Glanville, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, Indiana Hoosiers. I mean, preview for 2022. It's a big year in Bloomington, Patty C. It is. Oh shit! I'm getting ahead of it. I'm getting ahead of introducing myself. I am. If you're wondering who you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
Nobody knows nothing. Somebody knows. Double the price, but no one touches Dundee.
Oh! Just a year ago at this time, people had Indiana as the best
thing since
I mean, they really were buying in on the Hoosiers. I mean, 2 years ago, I feel like the college football invitational committee deemed Indiana the best team to ever walk the place
of the ball,
the face of the earth.
AP postseason number 12, went as high as number 7.
That was a little fugazi. I'm not trying to come at you Hoosier fans, but I cashed out last year on the under. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi.
Is this a wild one? Because look, I hammered the under on the Hoosiers last year, and boom, boom, boom. That was easy cash.
2-10.
Easy cash. That win total was like an 8.
Yeah.
Didn't sweat for 1 second on that. But look, I like.
They had to get to 8, so you would have cashed by week, or you would have pushed by week 5.
Yeah. So I mean, but look, I like Indiana. I like the program. I like Tommy Allen. You know, shout out to Tom the Toolman Allen. You know what I mean? He's doing it. He's got more power. Rah. All right. And maybe that's why he's back, Patty C. I mean, look, the guy is 26-32 overall.
Been
6 years.
Indiana for a full 6 years now.
High school coaching legend in the state of Indiana, right?
This would be his 6th year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. High school coaching legend though in the great state of Indiana.
10 years in the state as a high school coach.
It is a big year though, and I think it's a make or break year for him as far as the future of this program. You know, we mentioned the hot seats in college football, and we've mentioned many programs, whether it's Florida State or Memphis or Colorado, or I mean, there's been a Missouri. I think the Indiana Hoosiers might be a low key, interesting hot seat play here. Maybe he would get another year, but at the same time, they were pretty bad last year.
What are the expectations? Kevin Wilson,
he was doing a good job there.
0 winning seasons in six years there. Okay, Bill Lynch, prior to him, 1 winning season and 4. Terry Hepner, 0 winning seasons. Jerry DiNardo, 0 winning seasons. Cam Cameron, 0 winning seasons. Bill Mallory, back from the freaking 80s, was
with
the last
Anthony
time.
Thompson.
Last time they had a coach with multiple winning seasons was hired in 1984. Even Sam Weiss went 3-8 in 1983.
I completely forgot that Sammy Weiss. Well, Patty C, you're not in Cleveland anymore. You're in Bloomington.
Hello.
All right. And hopefully you understand that reference. But look,
great pull.
This team was terrible last year on offense, and Nick Sheridan, he might be working at the Sheridan right now because he was fired as offensive coordinator at Indiana, and the 123rd scoring offense in the country, 113th in rush offense. At least he was consistent. 113th in pass offense. True balance, Patty C.
Yeah.
Charting at 124th in total offense. He was fired, and in comes in Walt Bell.
Who had his own impressive coaching run at UMass. 3 years, 2-23, pushing Mike Loxley.
I did not like that hire at UMass when they tried to get him. I thought they should have stayed with what's his name, the OC of Pitt, who's now at Nebraska. What's my guy's name?
Whipple.
Yeah, Mark Whipple.
Oh, he was at Florida State for 1 year
with Willie Taggart,
and apparently that got him a head coaching gig.
He was at Maryland with. Is that Durkin? Those Durkin's years, I think.
Potentially.
He was at Arkansas State, probably. I'm assuming that's still Blake Anderson. He was at North Carolina with Larry Fedora. He was at Southern Miss with Larry Fedora, and Oklahoma State with Larry Fedora.
A couple decent offenses he was coaching on.
Played at Middle Tennessee. Shout out to Walt Bell, but I'm not super excited about the hire.
Yeah.
They had a great couple seasons with Kalen DeBauer, who's now Washington's head coach. I think that was the peak of IU football as far as the offensive side of the ball.
He was with Penix for a while.
Yeah, and Michael Penix, guess where he transferred? Patty C. Washington, yeah, to join Kalen DeBauer there. So at first it seemed like there was a quarterback problem, but they had Jack Tuttle, who I believe was a Utah transfer. He played some last year. He is back, but they also went out in the portal and they got Connor Bazelak, which I thought was pretty shocking. And I thought it was a great land considering Tuttle kind of struggled. Now I think now they have quarterback depth with Tuttle and Bazelak. I expect Bazelak to start.
Well, Jack Tuttle, 51% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Meanwhile, Bazelak over the last 3 years, over 5,000 passing yards, 66%.
I think he's pretty good.
23 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Kind of an interception machine, a little bit.
I just think he's got more talent than
Tuttle.
Yeah, and
certainly,
and then a lot of Big Ten quarterbacks. So I think that's a good get. Now they're replacing. They got some new running backs going to be breaking in. We'll get to that in a bit. 3 of 5 back on the offensive line. Patty C, led by Matthew Bedford. Now this is one they got to pass block better. That was an issue for them last season. They're breaking in a new tight end. I'm not really sure who they're going to go with there, and basically breaking in all brand new wideouts. Now I think DJ Matthews will step up. He was not a starter a year ago. Started some games though. I think that'll be their top wideout when it's all said and done with this year. On the defensive side of the ball, Chad Wilt, great name. 109th in scoring defense. Got to improve that. 60th in rush defense, 76th in pass defense, 71st in overall defense. Now Tom Allen's a defensive guy, so I do expect this unit to get better. They run that 4-2-5. 2 of 4 starters back on the defensive line, led by DeMarcus Elliott. 1 of 2 back in the linebacking core, and that is Cam Jones. And 4 of 5 back in the secondary, led by all conference cornerback Tiawan Mullen. I think the defense might be all right this year.
The defensive backfield seems to be the strong point.
Kicker and punter back as well.
Nice. Neither of them spectacular, especially the punter. Lower end of the conference, 41 yards per punt. Could you improve on that? But I guess offensively,
you could build on that though. Why isn't Indiana better, Patty C? Like I don't understand. I mean, yes, I do understand.
It's a basketball state. right?
They have Notre Dame.
Probably third in the pecking order within the
They
state.
have Notre Dame in the state.
Yes, and Notre Dame is able to get into Chicago. I don't know how far Bloomington is from Chicago.
You say Bloomin' Onion?
Bloomin' Onion is from Chicago. Look,
I'm just saying, like, what is the difference between what Mark Stoops is doing at Kentucky and at Indiana? Now,
nothing.
They should.
They could fully tap into Ohio. They're right next to Cincinnati, the state of Indiana.
Yeah,
they should be able to get down in there and recruit their butts off.
I don't see a difference between Kentucky and Indiana. I don't see a difference between really. I think you could make a case for several schools, Nebraska and Indiana.
Dude, Indiana is sandwiched in between Ohio and Chicago. Cincinnati and Chicago are two of the most talent producing cities in the country, and Indiana borders them both. What are you doing? You know what you're doing? You're being a basketball school still.
No, but why not? I mean, look, throw some money into your chase it a little bit. They
fancy themselves as a football school. When they came up, they beat Penn State during the COVID year by a millimeter, if that. But
I mean, look, you're not even that far from Louisville, Kentucky, man. You're close to Louisville.
Plenty talent.
You're close to Cincinnati. You're close to Indianapolis. You're not even that far from St. Louis. This program should be better, and it's going to start with Tom Allen this year, Patty C.
Well, I'll tell you what. Being in the Big Ten East, not doing them any.
Well, they're going to get rid of divisions. I think they're going to with this addition of UCLA and USC and probably 35 other teams. This super conference thing. Watch out. Maybe the Hoosiers. Who the fuck is going to stand up on the Hoosiers and take them to the promised land? We're going to talk transfer portal. We're going to talk recruiting rankings. We're going to go game by game on the schedule and project how the Hoosiers will shake out in 2022. And we're going to key in on what Las Vegas expects. So subscribe. I mean, and by the way, hopefully you're watching this on YouTube too, because we have the sweet graphic here. Shout out to the SGPN graphics team.
Let alone these handsome ass faces to look at.
Subscribe to the College Football Experience as we break down all 131 college football teams, a solo podcast for each team in the land, and also subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. We're already talking Indiana Hoosier basketball as we talk college basketball year round over there. All right, but first let's get us paid, Patty C. I want to tell you folks out there that the Indiana Hoosiers 2022 college football season preview episode is brought to you by WinBet. Bet $50 at WinBet, get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. Download the WinBet app now or visit winbet.com. That's WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold, hard cash with their over-under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. We just relaunched the SGPN merch store, and there's tons of awesome gear from your favorite SGPN shows. Just go to store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Once again, that is store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com and get one of these fly ass shirts. If you're watching on YouTube, you can get one of these ones. Look at that pennant. Just get over there, order that thing, get it going. We're also brought to you by Dave. Yes. Not Dave Chappelle, Dave. All right. Shout out to Dave Chappelle though. Great comic. Dave is the banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. The more money that's more money to fill in your tank, Patty C. You can buy a wedding gift, catch up on bills. I don't know. This is a common problem. I feel like, I still deal. Sometimes you get yourself in a jam where you just need a bunch of cash, get yourself out of it.
Who are you going to call?
You're not going to call the Ghostbusters. You're going to call Dave. All right. And I'm telling you, this thing is great because there's no interest, no credit check needed. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to get the financial relief that they need. I'm telling you, download Dave from the App Store right now. That is DAVE. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve, member of the FDIC. We're also brought to you by IP Vanish. Did you know that browsing online using incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? That's right. Without added security, you might as well be giving away all your private data to hackers, advertisers, your ISP, and other guys. That's why here at SGPN Studios, we use IP Vanish VPN. It makes it truly easy to stay private and secure on the internet. Helps you browse safely by encrypting 100% of your data. Yeah, Everything that you go through, your details, your emails, your passwords, your communication, your browsing history, and more will be completely shielded from falling into the wrong hands. Even your physical location will be hidden. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online, and that's the benefit of it. So go to IPVanish.com/SGP and use the promo code SGP and claim 70% off your savings. That's IPVanish.com/SGP. All right, Patty C, we are back talking some great Indiana Hoosier football, man. Look, you got shout out to this legendary Indiana Hoosier.
Good round, you're celebrating with your appetite. Bad round, you're using your appetite to forget about the round. I'll tell you something about appetite. It's a real fucking great thing to have.
Shout out to Bobby Knight. And appetite is a great fucking thing to have, Patty C. And perhaps this Hoosier team has an appetite for some success and a bowl. Let's hop into it. The transfer portal, interesting. I actually I was a bit surprised. All over the place, more than I realized. The incoming transfers, they're getting offensive tackle Parker Hanna. They're getting wide receiver Anderson Kobe from Tennessee. They're kind of pulled a classic. Listen to how many SEC schools or power teams come from this portal. So Anderson Kobe from Tennessee, wide receiver, cornerback Brylan Lanier from Alabama, obviously quarterback Connor Bazelak from Missouri. Defensive end J.H. Tevis from Cal. He had a good spring game. Expect for him to be a difference maker.
Nice.
A linebacker Jared Casey from Kentucky. Running back Shaun Shivers from Auburn, which is is penciled in to be the starter.
Yeah.
Defensive lineman Patrick Lucas from Ole Miss. Defensive lineman Ladarius Cox from Ole Miss. Defensive end Miles Jackson, not Miles Jack. Miles Jackson from UCLA.
Yeah, I even spell with the MYLES.
Yes, linebacker Bradley Jennnings Jr. from Miami, Florida, the Hurricanes. Wide receiver Emory Simmons from North Carolina. Running back Josh Henderson from North Carolina. Now Henderson and Shivers from Auburn will split time. It seems like at the running back spot. That's some firepower, man. I mean, how many? Wait, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri. That's 3. Kentucky 4. Auburn 5, 2 Ole Miss guys, 6, 7 SEC transfers. Then you go out and get Tevis from Cal, who is a good defensive player. Another Miles Jackson from UCLA, linebacker Bradley Jennnings from Miami,
It's Miles Jackson.
Yeah,
with the MYLES. It's so close. Let's hope he's anywhere near Miles Jackson.
I mean, I was a bit taken back by some of that they brought in. Now, here's the thing. They did lose a lot too. And I feel like we got to deem who did they win the transfer portal, because they brought in all those studs.
Well, Shivers, real quick, the running back, good for 1,000 yards career rushing at Auburn, 5.1 yards per rush. And
you got to figure Tank Bigsby's in front of him. Tank Bigsby might be the best running back in America. You know what I mean? So
that's true. 5'7", 189.
Little Lionel James.
Little
L Train. Rest in peace to the great Lionel James.
There we go.
Offensive tackle Andy Buttrell. He is in the transfer portal. Cornerback Larry Smith III is in the transfer portal. They lost Maurice Freeman, a safety, to Liberty with the Flames. Jaron Handy, a defensive end, a 4-star. He is in the transfer portal. Jonathan King, a defensive end. He is in the transfer portal. They lost Brady Feeney, an offensive lineman, to Colgate. Safety Juwan Burgess is in the portal. Tight end Matt Bjornson, who I can only assume is Eric Bjornson's son, he is in the transfer portal. They lost offensive lineman Luke Lane to Chattanooga in the FCS. They lost safety Jordan Josevich to Indiana State with the Sycamores. Defensive lineman Gavin McCabe is in the portal. The quarterback Zach Merrill is in the portal.
Well, at least they're not losing these guys to like big time programs.
There are some though. Let me get to it. Linebacker James Miller is at South Alabama, and here's one: Reese Taylor, cornerback, to Purdue.
Oh,
what the hell is going on here?
Ouch!
There's a rivalry.
They must have a bone to pick.
Kicker Asher King is in the portal. They also lost Chase Wyatt to a punter to Ball State. And here we go, Patty C. We're getting into it again here. They lost Ty Wise to Miami, Ohio. Davion Irvin Poindexter to Western Kentucky. Linebacker Cameron Williams in the portal. Chris Childers, a running back to San Diego. Shamar Jones, a defensive lineman to Chattanooga.
How are
Michael
so many
Penix?
teams?
Yeah, Michael Penix to Washington.
That's the biggest L of all of them.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Joseph Daniels, the cornerback spot. He's in the portal. Cameron Buckley, a wide receiver to Jackson State. I think he'll get some burn. Wide receiver Jordan Williams also to Jackson State. Miami, Ohio got Miles Marshall as well, and another wide receiver. South Alabama got defensive lineman CJ Person. South Alabama landed DK Bahome, an edge rusher. Florida International got Jacoby Hewitt, who was a decent player for them a season ago, a wide receiver.
Team got destroyed.
Yes, Missouri State got tight end Cameron Taylor. Louisville got cornerback Larry Tracy.
Is this addition by subtraction?
This is wild, man. Wide receiver Deshaun Brown in the portal. Tim Baldwin Jr. at running back goes to UMass, and then that's all since last season. That's some wild shit right there. I hate to be. I guess it's a good thing to be working for the administration because you got a job, but whew.
Yeah, job security, that's for sure.
So you think they lost the portal or won?
Well,
Penix is obviously big.
I think that alone loses them the portal because he started.
Bazelak was a good get.
Bazelak was a good get. 5,000 passing yards essentially over the last 2 seasons, and then kind of was.
So you're giving him L in the portal.
I'm gonna give them a dub in the portal, and their last 3 portal rankings nationally: 31, 28, and 29, which for Indiana seems pretty high. Number 3 in the conference in the transfer portal as far as incoming players. It does sound like they lost a shit ton, but maybe addition by subtraction.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
Yeah. Who knows? The portal's a hard thing to predict, but you can tell when good talent has come in. Did they get any superstars in the portal?
I mean, that the running game, the Auburn and Carolina backs, I think could be difference makers. I think the Cal defensive end will be a player for them. I think they could have something going here in Indiana here. Sorry, I had to play some Larry Bird stuff. That announcer, it sounded like he smoked like 35 packs of cigarettes a day.
Can you imagine if
I miss announcers like that
on the Hoosiers?
Oh, that's true.
Isaiah Thomas at the same time.
They would have been nasty.
They would have gone 500-0.
They would have been better than the Damon Bailey, Calbert Cheney teams.
So watch your tongue. Let me ask you this: you can take which of these 3 quarterbacks are you taking? Babe Laufenberg.
Wait, he went to Stanford, I thought.
Well, he was drafted from Indiana. It says circa 1983.
Maybe he transferred.
Could be. Only the database would know that. Let's see. Trent Green or Nate Sudfeld. I think the answer is pretty obvious here.
Trent Green.
Yeah.
Laufenberg did yes, and I think he did. I think he was a. He was at Stanford. And he left. He redshirted. He was supposed to be the next John Elway.
I'm not gonna lie. That makes me laugh. That makes me laugh that Babe Laufenberg's like backstory.
Shout out to Babe Laufenberg, man. Patty C, talk to me about recruiting.
Recruiting actually relatively surprisingly decent. Not really. Last 5 years nationally, 50, 41, 58, 50, but this last cycle, 30. Nice little jump within the conference. That's been good for 10, 8, 12, 12. But again, 5 this past recruiting cycle. Pretty much what you'd expect from a 4-year composite in that same 50s and 10 to 14 range within the conference. Not super talented. Nothing to no surprises there, but a little more talented in this past cycle. So maybe Tom Allen. What's surprising is that they went 2-10 this last year, but obviously they went 6-2 and finished number 12. Maybe recruiting cycles are like a year after the results.
Perhaps
that's probably more likely what happened there. A little bump from that 6-2 season. We'll see if next year they drop back down.
I can tell you this. So look, if you're following us on YouTube, you see the sweet ass graphics here. I used to have to reveal this number, but the win total's at 4.5, Patty C, and the juice on that right now. Actually, shop around too. Actually, no, shop at WinBet. But I this graphic was made a couple days ago, and I see it right now down to 4. So
Vegas is moving fast,
and now it's -120 on the over, plus 100 on the under. So they are they're thinking 4.5 still a little bit, but leaning slightly to the over. But interesting because
that's with it at 4.
Yeah, it's at 4. So I know the graphic is telling us 4.5. This was made like 2 or 3 days ago. It is now updated to 4 as I pull this up.
Is still leaning over at this point.
Barely though. Barely.
What's the juice on each side of that?
So the over's -120, the under's plus 100. So even in a way. Let's hop into this because I tend to think when I see 4 or 4.5, I was on them on the under last year, but they were also decimated by injuries. Penix got injured, and then Tuttle was injured some, and they at one point they had a walk on in there. I think they might be better than what we think this year.
Well, let me tell you what, with that 2-10 record, 8 of those wins by 2 touchdowns or more, and most of those 8, I think like 7 by like 3 touchdowns or more. They got smoked a lot. And one of their wins was a 2-point win against Western Kentucky on the road. There you go. Nice scheduling, Indiana.
Western Kentucky won the Conference USA.
So
they played Cincinnati good. That score was deceiving.
They did.
That score was deceiving.
Impressive game by Indiana. They showed up for that one. They did smoke Idaho by 42 points. So not a complete.
That's a rivalry game. It's back on the schedule this year. Patty C, Friday, September 2nd. The Fighting Illini. Go listen to our preview with the Illini as we already chalked this one up. I took Indiana, and I think you did too. Oh no, you said 1-1. You have Illinois winning this one, I believe.
I think, yeah. I mean,
no, Illinois has the benefit of playing a week 0 game.
I gave Illinois 1 out of the first 3, and
no, 1 out of the first 2 you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to give Indiana 2 out of the first 3, if not 3 out of the first 3. But I'll be. They almost should be 3-0, Indiana.
I think they will be. The only thing is Illinois does get a week to play against Wyoming, week 0, which I do think is a benefit for coming into week 2. But this is still in Bloomington. I think Indiana's got a better team. They have a better roster.
Talking about against Illinois.
Yeah,
I mean, Bazelak
Friday
certainly better than either.
Satowski
or
DeVito.
DeVito, yeah.
But look, this is Friday, September 2nd, national TV. I'm taking Indiana to win this game.
Mm-hmm. Friday night opening week. Illinois does have a week 0 game to kind of work out the kinks. I'm still leaning Illini, but this is a coin toss.
Week 2, the Vandals of Idaho, and this heated rivalry heats up again. Patty C. I'm on Indiana. I think they're 2-0. So right now you just need 2 more wins.
I mean, they could very easily be 2-0. I at least got them at 1-1. So,
well, week 3, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers come into town, and look, they barely beat them a season ago. Indiana beat them, but I also think Western Kentucky. Bailey Zappi's he's on the New England Patriots now.
It's a huge
Zach
loss
Kitley, their OC, is at Texas Tech. I have Indiana starting out 3-0. Patty C.
Look at that. Just
and that bring that decimal
down
point.
To 4.
Yeah,
you're a game away from pushing with 9 games
and
left.
That's a lot of momentum heading into Nippert.
Get the F out of here with that.
I'm taking Cincinnati, but hey, Cincinnati doesn't have an explosive offense, so I do think Indiana can hang around in this game.
Fickell is old school Big Ten.
Hang around. Go listen to our Cincinnati preview. So I got them 3-1 after the month of September. You 2-2.
I got them at 2-2. No, wait. Yeah, 2-2. Yeah.
Well, they have back-to-back away. After the Cincinnati game, they are on the road heading to Lincoln, Nebraska. I have that as a loss, Patty C.
I do too.
So I got them down at 3-2, and then they host Michigan, the Wolverines, homecoming.
That's a terrible loss.
I don't think it's a terrible loss, but I do think they lose.
I am tempted to look at what they've done recently in that series. I will pull that up. There's almost no point in that. They trail the all-time series at least as far back as Sports Reference goes, 60-10. They actually won in 2020, 38-21.
And they were robbed on one in like 17. Remember?
But listen to this, dude. Prior to that, they played basically every year since 1988, and they've only won once since 1988. I think we can pencil in the L.
Yeah, but I can see it being a closer game. Was my point. I'm not taking them to win it. So I got them then at 3-3. Can they avoid this slump? Can they get out of this slump?
Here's their chance right here.
They host the Maryland Terrapins Saturday, October 15th. Patty C, give me the dub.
Indiana on the dub here,
4-3
against Tulia Tungavailoa and Mike Loxley's Maryland Terrapins.
This is a ball game, isn't it?
It is a ball game. I think I like the fact that it's in Bloomington. I will give it to Indiana.
So I got them at 4-3. You got them at 3-4.
Yep.
Last year they lost by 3 to Maryland in College Park. I'm taking the Hoosiers to get it
I
here.
mean, I think Maryland's a better team, but I think the home field advantage favors them enough to make the difference.
So I got them at 4-3. So I'm at a push right now.
Nice.
All I need is one more win. They're at Rutgers. I'm taking Rutgers, but I think it's a 50-50 game. I
They
like
could
your
win this.
chances of hitting the over at this point. Like I think that's a winnable game, but
Well,
I'm going
there's
to
only
lean.
one more game on this schedule that looks like a potential W.
Will they get a bye before hosting Penn State?
Penn State, meanwhile, will be coming off hosting Ohio State. Letdown spot.
Dangerous spot. I'm taking Penn State.
Yeah,
They're at Ohio State.
that's a terrible loss.
Yes. And then they're at back-to-back away. They're at Michigan State. Isn't it funny how they have 2 sets of back-to-back away? At Michigan State.
That should probably be a loss too.
I think that could be a sneaky game, but yeah, I'm going to take Michigan State home to Purdue, the rivalry game.
They won this game 2 years ago. Prior to getting shellacked last year, each of the previous 4 matchups were decided by 7 points or less. This should be a competitive game again, you would think, right?
Yeah. Look, I think they're spot on the number.
This is
I see why it dipped down to 4, but I still think you play the over because I think their chances of beating Rutgers,
this one's close.
Michigan State or Purdue, I could see them stealing one of
They
those.
could get to 6.
Yeah.
They could get to 6.
I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over on 4. Remember, this is a flat 4 now. To hide the 5 if you're watching on YouTube for 4.5. What are you doing? You taking the over, the under? You got
This is hard, man. This is a really hard one. In Illinois, that's a 50-50 game, but they get them at home. Idaho and Western Kentucky, those could both be W's at home.
That's what's dangerous though. Is you start to ride some momentum. If they go 3-0, they could be either Cincy or Nebraska, one of the two.
That's asking a lot from a 2-10 team that got shellacked most of last year. Maybe they go back to the 6-2 team from 2 years ago. I have my doubts. I guess I got to lean over. If it's 4,
Yeah.
if it's 4,
Flat 4.
I guess you got to lean over. Yeah.
Yeah. Now if it's
Not a
4,
lot of
if it's
confidence.
4.5, what are you leaning under?
I think I lean under at 4.5. Barely though. Barely. I think it's going to be either 4 or 5. I think Vegas.
Yeah.
has it
I think
spot on.
I think they're more likely to go 5-7.
Then 4 and 8.
Well, if it's at flat 4 than 3 and 9, I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
They're more likely to go 5-7 than 3
I
and 9.
agree completely.
Yeah.
I agree. If it's at flat 4, play the over.
Yes.
The worst you're going to do is push.
Now we don't love it. I am not locking this up. Are you locking this up?
No.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the Walt Bell hire. We'll see how that shakes out. But I guess give me the over on the Hoosiers. I like the Bazelak get. All right, folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience. Like I said, we're on YouTube, all that stuff. Any place where podcasts are found, subscribe. Tell a friend, please. We talk college football year round, and also remember, we talk college basketball year round on the College Basketball Experience. Subscribe to that as well, as we're always talking Hoosier basketball. Also, me and Noah Beanick do the College Baseball Experience. And if you're an NFL guy, the Sports Gambling Podcast already has you covered. Talking, NFL props, all that good, win totals, fantasy football. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast if you're a Colts guy or I don't know, Bengals, whoever's your team. But right now, give us a 5-star review on iTunes. And if you do that, take a screenshot and find us on Twitter to show me the screenshot. Basically, you can find me on Twitter at @DColbyD or the College Football Experience at TCE on SGPN. Show us the screenshot there, and we'll send you a College Experience T-shirt. Patty C is on Twitter at PattyC831. NC Nick is on Twitter at NC_NICK. He's on vacation, you know. The college football, no, I'm sorry. The Sports Gambling Podcast Network is on Twitter at the SGP Network. Give us all a follow. Support the family. Get the SGPN app, people. All these shows. People wondering, hey, you know, I told you, the Sports Gambling Podcast does great coverage of the NFL. Check that out. Check out the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. That's fantastic. We even have the Formula One covered, if that's your cup of tea. Soccer Gambling Podcast, Golf Gambling Podcast.
Coming at you from all angles.
We got you covered here. Canadian Football League, CFL Gambling Podcast. It's the summer. What are you doing? Watch some CFL, USFL Gambling Podcast. We host that. Me, Patty C, and NC Nick. So check out that one as well. Check it out. We got you coming in all that. You know, like Patty C said, all different directions. Let's ride out, man. We're both taking the over. Come on, Hoosier fans, get excited. This is the College Football Experience, Indiana Hoosier style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.